Today can be the turning point in your life by making a simple decision.
Fundamental questions of navigation. Where am I? Where am I going? And how do I get there from here?
I invite the leaders of our planet to ask themselves these three questions before they make any crucial decisions.
But if you don't make decisions, you're going to stay right where you are.
We are all map makers.
We are in a time of transition.
If we're going to change, we have to change the direction that we're going.
Our planet needs leaders who know where they want to go.
When we change the direction we're going, then we want to make sure we're going in the right direction.
Leaders who can see the big picture.
Because if we're not, we're going to either go backwards or we're going to stay where we are.
Recognizing the psychological and the spiritual shifts and changes that need to be made, often from the inside to the outside.
To be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm.
Complex journeys require navigation. The path to the truth is one such journey. This is your GPS. Hairstyling services provided by J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa, Palmdale Shopping Plaza, Madera Street. Accessories provided by Chevette Williamson Jewelry. Standout jewelry for standout women.
Address on Sunday past, where he talked about now that the injunction has been lifted from the courts as it relates to the demolition of shanty towns, that the government would now proceed with the demolition of those shanty towns, as well as take action against those who have been engaging or are engaging in the hiring of illegal immigrants. And I didn't get an opportunity to talk about that address because I decided on Tuesday, day before yesterday, to go in a different direction. And as you all know, that show was all about whether or not there was this practice happening in the country of activists being paid. Well, I've decided today to do the show that I had originally intended to do for Tuesday, which was the show that we're going to do today. And so before I bring in my guests, I'm going to play a clip. And this one is a video that has been produced by the Office of the Prime Minister. And this is just a capsule, a brief look at what the Prime Minister announced on Sunday. That is the one that says Prime Minister PM. Yes.
Prime Minister Philip Davis has announced Operation Secure. In a live televised address to the nation Sunday night, the Prime Minister laid out an all-encompassing offensive against the complex web of immigration breaches.
If you are a crown landholder who is unlawfully leasing land, you will be prosecuted. If you are engaged in human smuggling, you will be prosecuted. And if you are employing migrants illegally, you will be prosecuted.
Operation Secure was launched after the lifting of a years-long injunction barring the destruction of shanty towns, which have been expanding on several islands. Now that legal requirements of the Supreme Court have been satisfied, including surveillance and evidence gathering, establishing that the communities are unlawful and expanding, police, defense force, and immigration forces have been charged with identifying irregular and documented migrants and Bahamians living in these irregular communities, assessing their status, and taking action.
Documented migrants living in unregulated communities will be required to relocate at their expense or their employer's expense or face repatriation. And any Bahamian citizens found to be living in these communities will be required to relocate. In addition, we must also hold accountable the entire network of people who make possible these shanty towns. Through Operation Secure, we will prevent the exploitation and abuse of migrants by unscrupulous landowners and businesses holding accountable those with a reckless disregard for our laws.
Under the Davis administration, repatriations reached a record one-year total of 4,748 in 2022, with only one vessel making landfall on an inhabited island since the administration came to office. And while the on-the-ground push intensifies, sea patrols will be expanded.
The Royal Bahamas Defense Force is completing the final phase of the Sandy Bottom project. This multi-administration initiative is the largest capital investment project ever initiated by the government of the Bahamas to expand the Defense Force's fleet. The additional ships have enhanced the Defense Force's capabilities to carry out its mandate to secure our territorial waters.
Additional Defense Force recruits will be added to support the fleet, all while partnerships with neighboring countries, including the U.S., Cuba, Turks and Caicos, and Haiti, are strengthened. Most lately, CARICOM talks have sought to develop Haitian-led solutions to promoting security in Haiti, but the Bahamas has continued to steer clear of any commitments to accept migrants.
All right, so that gives you an idea of what the government says it will be doing going forward. So this is going to be a jam-packed show today because I have quite a few guests planned for being a part of the show. And the first one is here with me in studio. I'm going to allow him to introduce himself, and then Jason, you can bring in the others into the stream. So go ahead, sir, and introduce yourself, please.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good evening. My name is Pastor Emmanuel. Tybos, my last name, Thibos, Tybos. I was the pastor of Bethlehem Transformation Ministry International. My bishop named Sharon Hall, Carmichael Transformation of Purple Church in Carmichael. That's my name, Emmanuel.
Okay, welcome to the show, Pastor Emmanuel. First time on GPS. Okay, let's bring in everybody else into the studio. Also joining us today from all the way from Apico, we have Crystal Williams, no stranger to GPS. We have Kai Mills, also no stranger to GPS, both residing in Apico. And Seattle, who caused all our problem on Tuesday, is back. My good friend, the critical thinker, Seattle Johnson, welcome to you all to GPS. How y'all doing today?
Fine yourself. Thank you for having me.
Okay, we heard you, Crystal. Yeah, are you muted? Are you muted,
Yes,
yeah?
thank you so much for having us on.
Okay, and Kai, you with us, right?
Yeah, you're cutting in and out, so I may cut in and out. I keep hearing some of what you're saying, not all of what you're saying.
Well,
Good evening.
We can hear you perfectly. Okay, so while I'm waiting, trying to get my laptop connected, we're just gonna stick with the wide shot for Pastor Emmanuel and I here in the studio. Welcome to you all. Okay, so we all heard what the Prime Minister had to say as it relates to now that this injunction that has been hanging around for almost 5 years has been lifted. The decision has been made, according to our Prime Minister, that they will move ahead with the demolition of shanty towns here in the Bahamas, well, at least in Apico. And that obviously is receiving some pushback from some. There are some who argue that this is not as simple as it seems, that if you displace these people, you know, you're going to create another problem, particularly speaking about Apico, because there is a housing crisis in Apico, and the question that is being raised is where will we go by some who say that they have a legal right to be in the Bahamas. And I wanted to have a discussion today that pretty much looks at this question from all sides. And I thought it was important to have someone with us as a part of this conversation who represents the Haitian community. I did reach out to others as well as Pastor Emmanuel. Pastor Emmanuel kindly agreed to be here, and I appreciate that. Others for whatever reason, wanted to know who else could be on the show and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, look, if your position is your position, it is what it is. I don't know why you got to know who else could be on the show. But anyhow, I digress. So let us talk about this issue today. First and foremost, Pastor, let's start with you. When you heard the announcement by the Prime Minister, and we all know that this illegal immigration problem is a long-standing one. You are the pastor of a Haitian church. And you yourself know that this has been a problem for a long time facing this country. Yet it is impacting, for the most part, people from Haiti. What are your thoughts on this latest development and how it's going to impact the Haitian diaspora here in the Bahamas?
Good afternoon again. As I said, my name is Pastor Emmanuel. I is happy. I come to the radio show. I just speak a little bit what I know, the story that I know from 80s from now. The Haitians' problems leave the country because they can't get job in Haiti. They have to try going foreign. They have to stop in the Bahamas, try the status, the Bahamas, and try going to the States. And some of them, when they get the status, gone foreign and they come back because they really supposed to, like in the Bahamas. They really want to come to Bahamas. Now, because the Bahamas stuff too, that's a way they have to come through. Now, the problem is, I think even the government of Bahamas and the government Haiti or government America, I think they get something backdoor is doing and bringing this country apart and try to break. Because the humans in the country don't understand that because every 5 years they say they come a new party and new certain things and they can bring a new vision for the Bahamian people. Now, everybody know in Haiti get plenty issues going now because they ain't get no government right now. I think what David was talking the other day, last week, I think that's last week. He's talking about shanty town. I agree. The problem is before he do it and he sent to immigration to do it, he's well invite each pastor Haitian and come into the Bahamas and let them know they can do certain things and you can give our people Haitian a day and they can break their house down. Some immigration them, they go on there, break the place. They don't go to break that, they go wrong. Not them Haitian them. And the problem Haitian them, they ain't get nobody to call because the Haitian embassy, they don't stand up for them. They wait for them government of Bahamas. And I feel bad for them. I born in Bahamas. I grew up all my life in Haiti over 10 years. Like 40, 41, going to 42. When I stand up, I can't against the Bahamas. I can't against the Haiti because that's my roots. But I want to say, I don't want to put myself deep in the politics because I'm a businessman.
Right.
Now, the same time, the same set who in the government of the Bahamas, if they check their background and they know they're Haitian and by roots and by Africa, right? And they acting like white people.
What do you mean by that?
Okay, what I mean by that, they acting like white people. Everybody get background, roots, where you come from. All the blacks will be together. I just said the Bible saying, king against a kingdom, nation against a nation. You say, same first nation, first come last, and last come first. That's what the Bible said. You agree or not?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, everybody, that's the Haiti time, that's the Haiti season for suffering, suffer from different nation. That's their time because the Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1 say, time for everything. That's the Haiti time.
Yeah, but Pastor, hold on. Let me stick a pin in this right here. Because Haiti's suffering does not have anything to do with the Bahamas.
I understand that. Now, I just said it again. I understand your neighbor. That's what the Bible said. I go on by the Bible say, your neighbor, your black brothers from Africa. Before anything the government can do, is by right each the embassy of them pastor together and talk to them people first before they do anything.
How long does we talk before? I mean, it ain't like y'all didn't know. I shouldn't say y'all. It's not like the illegal immigrants in this country didn't know they came here illegally. Didn't know they broke the law coming here illegally. Didn't know they built these houses illegally. How much more talking you'll need?
Okay.
Michelle, can I ask a question?
Let him finish first, and then you can come and see Alan. Go ahead, Pastor.
Okay. Brother, since what I know for myself, I know to refuse no letters from the government and say the Satan so. When you're talking about the government Obama's talking about, I just made a little boy when they talking about. Now, I think if they want to do something 2023 from 2022 from September, August, and they can send a letter to the church and the Haitian them, whoever don't straight the country, they have to leave. Whoever straight the country, they get status, they have to listen the law and bow the law what the law say.
You know how many times we don't hear that? You know how many times we don't have government agencies say, okay, all Haitians who are here illegally, pack up and go. Give me a break.
Michelle,
Go ahead, Siala.
Michelle, first of all, that what he's saying is not up for debate. You know, I would like for the government to announce that all rapists, robbers, murderers, whatever, to please see their pastors because we're going to start prosecuting them for breaking the law.
Can
And
you hear him okay? Okay.
we're going to give you a warning as to when we're going to come to do for you. We're talking, you see, what happens is during this conversation, we have a tendency of convoluting, conflating multiple issues within the law. So a number of things he said, right? And we all Africans. And I say to you then, why don't you head further south? Why don't you head directly to Africa? Why don't see this argument about we all brothers and sisters? Well, Cuba is also our brothers and sisters, right? Basically from this whole trade thing. Just don't use the color of the skin. And so is Puerto Rico and other places. And so this whole argument concerning the fact that we all from Africa, okay, that we should then accept for what it is. In fact, if you begin to make that argument, and we could convolute the whole thing and begin to make an argument at one time, America owes more to Haiti than any nation in the world, including France. When you look at what Haiti used to own in America, they used to own from the Louisiana before they had various names straight up to Canada. That was part of what they obtained. When you look at the fact of Navosa Island, that's been there from the 1800s, and provided billions of dollars worth of Ghana and other different things to Haiti. For the fact that United States has multiple multi-billion-dollar corporations in Haiti that has exploited the labor, wealth, and everything else. Well, America also has the land masses and the resources to accommodate Haiti in one state. They're all the citizens of Haiti in one state. See, so these arguments become very convoluted. What we have to talk about is the issues that we are facing us, and that is one of illegal migration. Mm-hmm. The very fact that we begin to combine work permits and people born in the Bahamas and all of these things, each of these are separate issues that we have to have a conversation on it, and we need not to have them overlap and conflate and confuse the dialogue that we're having.
Right.
The conversation concerning shanty towns. There's a number of shanty towns. I think maybe one may be left in Abaco, but and the key word there is the definition of shanty town. That we ought to have a conversation in context of the problem facing our country, which is social housing and affordable housing. Shanty towns has a definition, and you could basically call the mud was a shanty town. What is being built now is irregular housing. And so these are conversations we have to have. But the irregular housing issue has nothing to do with the illegal issue, except for the fact that that is where they may begin to host and live and whatever else there is. And so each one has its own solution, its own application. And I think when we begin to address these in individual silos for which they are, we then begin to apply applications for solution of them. And so I think as we have this conversation, we have to have a conversation concerning housing, but we have to have a conversation concerning the crisis that comes to us in the form of illegal immigrants in our country, and the abuse of the legal systems that's in place. Like where individuals are getting work permits for people out of their where they're supposed to work, and the fact that we don't have systems of checks and balances, the fact that we have individuals entering the country with no verification of housing arrangements, knowing that they're getting paid minimum wage, knowing that a minimum wage job is insufficient to be able to afford the particular housing and whatever else in support system they have. We have conversation concerning that we have this misstatement of what these international agreements we have, where we say the government must provide education, the government must provide medical. And that's not what these agreements says. These agreements said the government must provide access to education, not free education. It said it must provide access to medical, not free medical. And I think the biggest problem we have is we have allowed emotionalism and individuals to hijack and distort, especially from our leadership, the conversations that we should be having in regards to what is done. We could solve the illegal immigration problem in a matter of weeks, if not months. Then we could have a conversation which we should be happening in context of concerning tearing down these irregular housing developments, as opposed to this absolute definition of shanty towns. We also have, like for instance, I'm going to try to not talk too much, but here it is that you have governments who claim to have been emasculated for 5 years and whatever amount of time, when that is absolutely not true. Because in 5 years, the government, for the majority of these irregular housing, is on Crown land, whether they have lease or not. And the government has the ability to go to court, regardless of the injunction, and take possession of these Crown land, anticipating that you'd have to deal with this. Because when you're in violation of your lease agreement, there's no argument that the government has absolute right to violate that, consider that agreement violated, then making this whole thing not one of private land. Leased land is not private land.
All right, let's get Crystal in here, Seattle. Crystal, what are your thoughts on this?
Good evening, Ms. Michelle. So for me personally, this problem was eradicated in 2019 for persons that are not on the soil in Abaco. We would have only had one shanty town remaining with maybe 12 houses, and that would have been at the farm. And from the moment that we noticed that persons were clearing land and taking building materials from the dump sites and building, I started making videos. So the government pretending and acting as if they were not aware is a slap in the face to the Bahamian people. And we only look at the fact that, okay, yeah, the illegals are here, but they're affecting the lives of Abaconians on a high scale, because you go on a construction site and 95% of the crew, Creole speaking population. I've had so many people that reach out to me. Crystal, can you hit this? Crystal, can you talk about this? Crystal, can you come to Hopetown? Crystal, can you come to Guanakee? Because it's ridiculous. And then another part of what is so bothering, a lot of immigration officers have a problem with the fact that even when a raid is going to be done, they show up to the boats and they're empty. So it means that somebody is feeding them information ahead of time. And then another major problem that we have in the immigration is the fact that the officers that are high ranked, they're the ones that are actually selling work permits. I've had someone take me to an area, took a video footage of an actual high-ranking immigration officer who's selling status for $5,000 and $6,000. Wow. So even though you're trying to clean the problem up at this level, you have to still end up going to this level, because it's as if a clear house has to happen for us to be able to move forward. And the fact that the gentleman was stating that we need to be compassionate towards the illegals. We've been compassionate for almost 50 years. And our compassion is now at a disadvantage, and it's disenfranchising Bahamians to a better way of life. And when I say disenfranchising us, number one, the schools are overpopulated. Your children can't receive the proper education because, number one, the teacher has a language barrier challenge. She's taking more time out now explaining a subject or explaining what's actually going on in the classroom, while our little darlings are the ones failing. You have the healthcare system that cannot take anymore. And when I say cannot take anymore, Bahamians are the persons who now have to seek private health care. So my country continues to put me on the back burner.
Did we lose Crystal?
She went out for a second.
Sorry about that.
You're back.
So my country continues to put me as a back burner person while meeting the needs of someone else. I'm taking care of a nation inside of a nation. No, that shouldn't be. And if the
Okay, Crystal seems to be having some issues with connectivity.
Go ahead. Finish,
apologize.
Here's
Sorry
what we're
about
going to do, because I have yet to be able to get on my laptop. Let me take a break so that they can reset the router here in the studio. Let's take a commercial break, and then when we come back, hopefully I'll be able to get online on my laptop as well. This is GPS. Stay with us. We'll be back after these words from our partners.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 hyperimmune egg powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for a rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Longevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy.
I see now it's back up. And so, okay, let's see if I can get on. Okay. I think see Alan and Crystal, you guys can hear us, right?
Yes, you can.
I
Okay, we
can.
apologize for that break in transmission. We were having some technical challenges here in the studio, um, and we had to restart our router. Okay, I don't want this to go down the road of us getting caught up in what we really didn't come here to talk about today, because a pastor is sitting here saying that he doesn't agree with what Crystal said with regard to the educational burdens, and but you know, I mean, I have heard from multiple sources that you know the vast majority of children in our classrooms today are of Haitian descent, but that's not what we're here to talk about today. We're here to talk about the
Michelle,
government's decision
no, I
to
understand the
move.
government. Michelle.
No, I want to ask the question who bring education in the Bahamas. I want she tell me who bring education in the Bahamas. If she get asking me that, and I close the gates.
What's the question? What is the question is? Let me answer that. What is this question?
Who brought education in the Bahamas?
In the Bahamas.
No, it's not. You understand? The word is when ask him when did the Bahamas start.
I talked the lady who said
she can hear you.
No, she can hear you, but before I want to put that in context before she answer. Is he ask him when he's saying the Bahamas start? Because there's some tenure. I want to know if he knows when education shifted in the Bahamas from when we were dropping out of school to when it is. I understand his context of his question.
I don't want to go down that road.
Michelle, it's important what Crystal said.
That is not what this show is about today.
Michelle, but it does involve government. Understand this, please, Michelle. Education, healthcare, and housing is directly impacted by the immigrants amongst us. It's no getting around that.
I agree.
And so I'm simply saying that this is one of the reasons, and this is one of the things the government will flip back to, concerning about being humanitarians. And we begin to use these as excuses as to how our behavior should happen. We must provide health care. We must provide education. We must provide housing to be humanitarians, whatever. When we begin to use these out of context, it then puts the obligations on us, not government. Government is not a standalone machinery. We, the people, are governments. And the fact is, no ifs, ands, and buts, if he speaks about education, before independence and before we had this learning system, maybe he could refer to what he's talking to, because if you remember, for a very short time ago, our parents and other people did not go beyond the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and 6th grade. And so we need not to start the education argument. What happens now today is the reason we are here is because of the economic crisis that has been brought about by actually misdirecting resources that should have gone any particular places to make accommodations for individuals or grouping of individuals where we should not have accepted that responsibility, whether through being ill-informed. We are now having a conversation is where we are today and where we need to go, not what we used to do. And I'm simply saying it's time for us to break the practices of this misapplication of information and the misinformed positions that we've been allowed to take regarding education, regarding migration, and everything else. And it's the same thing, like for instance, a statement says, immigration don't break down shanty towns, houses, or anything of that sort. And so when we start saying these things, it begins to go into the ether as facts when they are not. And that's why we have to have, yes, we primarily about what the government says, but it is more than government removing the so-called illegals. There's also thousands, tens of thousands of what we like to say, because we can't put them all into legal and illegal. There's different definitions of individuals within our country. And so we must identify who they are and whose responsibility they are. Because even for those that are not illegal, are we continuing to consider the responsibility of educating, providing medical care and social safety nets, and we like to quote these international agreements when those international agreements do not say that. And so if we are about to write a system, we have to write a system. And like Crystal said, people are selling things. technology, and you and I had a show on this, Michelle, we could stop all of this instantly, but we have to know exactly what the treatment is for the disease as opposed to eloquently deciding this is what the symptoms are.
Pastor, I see you shaking your head. Why?
Crystal case again. I could prove crystals. I'm moving on from education. I got a construction job. I could prove crystal when I was a supervisor of the job OBI. They get 60 Bahamian people. They get 35 Haitian. I was a supervisor at the time, and they don't do nothing. They just walk up the job, smoke in the job, and do whatever, fight in the job. And at the time, I leave the job. And the boss called me back. And that was the construction at the time. And when they called me back and they finished the job in 8 months.
Okay, but here's my point. What does that have to do with the problem of illegal immigration and shanty towns in this country? What does that have to do with that?
No,
see,
I go where she say.
I understand that, but again, it's a distraction from the real issue.
No, but Michelle, listen. If you take, forget his personal experience. Let's take the experience of the president of the Contractors Association.
Yes, he himself said that.
No. Wait,
the sector would collapse without illegal immigrants.
I want the pastor to understand this is bigger than his personal experience, and this is what I mean by that, because the Contractors Association says that they are dependent on 70% illegal labor force. And again, so it isn't how you perform and how other people who work beside you perform. Because according to the same person who stated that, says that skill sets are being taught within 6 to 9 months because the illegals on his site in less than a year claims that they are now certified and they have to pay them a little bit extra. See, and so I'm simply saying this, we're talking about things in context, not personal experience. Okay, because I could then use my personal experience about, well, I have some people working for me and they did excellent in this scenario and this one did. I don't want to go. I'm saying we're talking about what is happening, and that is the illegality of individuals who are working in our country that violates the law. Then we can come and have a conversation concerning the skill set of those that are legal and illegal. Because when we have a conversation on the skill set, we must ask ourselves, when somebody comes from Haiti claiming to be a mason, a carpenter, a gardener, a farmer, a mechanic, whatever else, what certifications are we bringing as evidence concerning their certification? See, these are conversations we have to have, not blended that how I feel, how I think, what I was told, and what I believe. The reality of what we're trying to address.
The bottom line is this, people, and I hear what you're saying, and my thinking is this. You have to deal with this thing step by step by step, okay? What you're talking about is step 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. Jumping over the whole point of step 1. Step 1 is, if you chose to come into this country illegally through the back door, whether you came in skilled or otherwise, you have broken the law. If you don't break the law and you decide to go on a piece of property that does not belong to you, whether or not you have been given permission by whomever to go on that land, right? You start building, you ain't get no kind of permit to build, you ain't passed no kind. If I want to put a piece on my house right now, I gotta go and get permission to do that. I gotta jump through all kind of hoops to put a piece on my house, what I own. First and foremost, you come into the country illegally. That's the first beginning, like you say in the Bahamas. That's the first beginning. That's the first thing wrong. Then you go and you build this structure with no government authority. That's the second thing wrong. You ain't paying no light bill, at least not to the government. You ain't paying no real property tax. Now, I'm not saying you ain't paying. Because there's a whole economic system within that system that's separate and apart from the official system. But my point is, You were wrong coming into the country illegally. You're wrong building illegally. And the bottom line is this. Even if you come into the country legally, you have a work permit before you come in as you're supposed to. You come to the country the right way. Whomever applied for that work permit for you is responsible for providing housing for you. It still does not give you the right, even if you came here legally with the work permit, to go and start building because, oh, there's a shortage of housing in Abaco. Well, the employer should have known about that shortage when he decided to apply for your work permit to bring you into this country. Your employer is responsible for providing you with housing. That's the law. So why are we going on this road about who in the classroom and who entitled to education, whether they should? We ain't get across the first hurdle yet. I'm incensed, quite frankly, for anyone to say, well, you know, they should have talked to us about this place. We've been talking about this for 50 years. How much more talking we can do? We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Good day, Lady Malcolm.
Hi.
All of your guests.
Hi.
Everything rises and falls on leadership. It's not the Seattleans, it's not the Lady Malcolms and your guests, the pastor in there. It's leadership. We have leadership has failed us. Corruption has set in. I can solve it in 2 months at Seattle State. But I noticed the other night at Bahamas, they were still coming from where they were supposed to be closed for Haiti. But they were still bringing passengers in. I would take 2 months. I would shut the doors for certain places like Haiti for at least 3 years. Everybody that is here, you come forward now, the door is shut. You don't go there, you don't come back here. The door is shut. Come in. Let's see if we can find a position to put you in, whether it's citizenship or whatever the other thing is, what you say. Anybody that's denaturalized in this country, after that, we would, if you're caught in any kind of illegal activity, they would renounce whatever papers we give you and we send you back to your country of origin, whatever it is. And you should start to clear this mess up from there. Anybody that is found hiring any illegal immigrant, you shut your business down and charge you before the court. In 2 months, I'll make that happen. Thanks for taking my call.
All right, thanks for calling. Anybody want to respond to that caller?
Yeah, with Michelle, it goes back to exactly what is the root problem. There's system, processes, policies, and legislation. Okay, and so if we were to actually follow the law, many of these problems would fall away. But the problem is these laws are subject to human behavior and to public opinion. This is where we are in an age, we are 22 years into the 21st century. We are actually, since 1981 to now, 45 years or 6 years since the first desktop computer sat on somebody's computer. Computers was there, but we have advanced so much that technology allows us to basically police all of the various things and end corruption as we know it. And this is why we are not so gung-ho on technology in any of our environment. And so when we speak about leadership, the problem we have is that we have designated leadership as a title as opposed to an ability. And that is the problem. And because, you know, if you take an idiot and put him in a suit, you have an idiot in a suit. If you take an idiot and give him a title, you have an idiot with a title. If you take an idiot, put him in a suit and give him a title, you have an idiot with a suit and a title, not a leader. And so when we begin to understand what everything is in its proper context, then we can begin to address it. If you say, like you say, we could solve immigration in a matter of weeks and months, and we don't have to reinvent the wheel. Do you know, I'm sure one of your listeners ever heard of a company called Amazon with AWS. Have they ever heard about Dell? Have they ever heard about Google? All of these things already have softwares and systems for which giant countries and companies with hundreds of thousands of workers and millions of people, has already developed the structure for which we can just simply modify to manage our data information management system. And so if we want to solve this problem, going from digital ID to actually beginning to have a conversation concerning the corruption or perceived corruption that happens in the past, the beauty about this is there's a gentleman by Aaron Kiki Knowles that going back about 20 plus years has already digitized the birth certificate offices and the court systems and a number of things through benchmark publishing. And the data has been sitting there unused. And so when you begin to put the data in this type of environment, we can look back at the irregularities that has occurred within our immigration system, within our citizenship system, and all of these different things. And so you can begin to see why we want to talk about it. And those within and those without want us to continue talking as opposed to acting, which is quicker in today's environment than any time in our entire history. And so you're right. It's time for stop talking, and it's time to from allowing our leadership to give us a form of linguistic contortionism in their statements, because the Prime Minister did a wonderful speech full of intent, but there was no strategies, no implementable strategies as to exactly how we are to achieve this. And for people who say they will hide, you can't hide in a system of technology with digital ID system and accounting of the workforce we have, the lack of skills we need, those for the development of what particular skills we have, individuals being assigned to whatever. Every single problem that directly and indirectly relate to what we're having can be managed using an information management system, which is called technology. But it has to be a proper system of management, not what we're doing now, talking. I tell people, and I tell people all the time, if we had entered the war with Ukraine and Russia and talk was a weapon, we would have done ended. We would have done won.
Crystal, let's get your voice in here. We haven't heard from you in a bit.
Miss Michelle, I've sat down and I've heard legal Haitians and I've heard illegal Haitians state when it comes to the affairs of the Bahamas, they have so much information, they have so much input and so much intel on what we can do to make the Bahamas better. And my advice to all of them is the same, and it will always remain the same. Take all of that information back to Haiti and make Haiti great. Make Haiti great, while us here in the Bahamas try to pick up the pieces and put the Bahamas back on a track of less corruption and good governance. And if we took that path and not run away from our responsibilities, because if I decided that I'm going to leave my children and go and nurture and care for someone else's children, what does that say about me as a mother? So I understand all of their plights, that their country is in chaos. But at the end of the day, they are celebrating 219 years of independence. We are just coming up on 50.
Pastor, do you have a response?
No.
Do you have a response?
When
Come closer to the microphone.
Chris is talking about, I think he got the problems of the Haitians. They get Chinese, spend Chinese, bring people in the Bahamas. One straight, that's like over 1,000 people. They bring the Bahamas of one papers. They don't talk about that. When Jamaican come the Bahamas, when you see two come in the plane, the rest of them come in the dope and drugs in the Bahamas. And they don't get no problems in there. Trinidad, whatever, they don't get no problem. Colombia, they ain't get no problem. She just got problem with Haitians. I thought the government, the Bahamas, get problems, all the foreigners in the country. That's what I thought. Now, just like she's talking, just to get our problems, the Haitian, with shoes, I don't want to put it. What I want to say, I leave it to God hand. I don't want to go too deep in the politics. And I want to give the Haitian, my people, them. I want to respect the law. I want a certain straight. They can leave the country. Whatever they get government, they ain't get no government. They can leave the country. But my problem is, whatever government and the power, this way, right? All them pastor Haitians, them say they can do certain things, and the time y'all get talk to our people in the church, y'all get call NBC, the Haitian NBC, and do the meeting and talk to them, and they can leave the country. That's what I'm talking about.
Michelle, let me just, he makes a very powerful point, and we have to ask ourselves the question, right?
Mm-hmm.
During election time, you have according to the Constitution and law, only Bahamians could vote. We have to begin to question, why do our political leaders go into what we describe as shanty town and other non-regularized town and make an appeal to these individuals to support them? Are they voters or what? What is the, what, you know, they said a political action committee. What is it that they are agitating for? What is that they're positioning for that is so significantly different than regular Bahamians? See, this is where the problem is. We have condoned a behavior that has now become a standard, and that is where it has to stop.
Okay, we have a call on the lines here, but for the record, Pastor, not only Haitians are being repatriated, okay? Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Good day, Michelle. How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Like you, I'm a little troubled
Mm-hmm.
by this entire situation, and good afternoon to all of you guests. The thing that concerns me in all of this, Michelle, and I don't care if it's a Haitian who's illegal or Jamaican or Colombian, it doesn't matter to me. I am upset over the fact that in my country, non-Bahamians are allowed to do things that I, as a citizen, cannot do or should not do. That's the bottom line for me, Michelle. This situation with the shanty towns, some Bahamian out there, or some naturalized Bahamian out there, is benefiting from the suffering of Haitians in particular. But yet they are taking advantage. You ever heard the saying years ago, send your Haitian home but leave mine alone?
Mm-hmm.
We have too many Bahamians who are really and truly mentally or morally corrupt, that the wrongs that they have done, they've done it for so long, that now, like Loftus Roker said, and I can't quote him exactly, but this chicken has come home now to roost. We are now suffering crazily from the problem that Loftus Roker warned this country about years ago. We didn't deal with it, what we were suffering. I listened to Crystal a while ago. I listened to you a while ago. The thing that bothers me, and even to a point scares me, it sounds like in particular Abaco is being overrun.
Not is being, has been.
Oh my God. I didn't even know it was that bad.
It is. And I have relatives who live there. I'm not just talking what I've heard. When you see the member of parliament representing the constituency coming forward and saying, we need help with this problem. Now, you know it got to be bad, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Michelle, it's correctable. Loftus, we have not reached the point of inflection where you can't turn back, you can't solve it.
Okay, but let's let the caller finish his points here.
See, we may not have reached the point of no return, C. Allen, but with all due respect to the point you're making, buddy, we should have never even allowed ourselves to get to this point.
But we are here.
Of course we are.
Okay. So I'm simply saying this. I don't want to see. This is the problem. We begin to go for historically 50 years of what could have, might, should have, might have been done. We'll spend time doing more talking. We are at a point now.
I'll let me interrupt you, buddy. With all due respect. Right now, I don't care. Okay? I'm upset.
Okay. But being upset doesn't fix this problem.
Sensible people in this country, like a Loftus Roker, who were wise enough and strong enough to do the right thing. Yes, it should have been done. But it wasn't.
But let's take the advice of Loftus Roker and do it today. his advice to us is not too late. See, we need not discuss emotionalism, how I feel, how I think, and what this one could have done and should have done. We are at the point right now, the government of the Bahamas said it's going to begin to take some action. We must
do it.
No, hopefully, you are the power behind government. And so we, as the citizens, must begin to make a demand, not tomorrow, today, as to the steps that is going to be taken, the timeline for this to happen, and the system, processes, policies, and legislation that will be put in place that can be given to us, not through not through no talking, through no sound bite. Okay? We want to know what now, what's next, and what's new. And so then we keep saying, government doesn't exist without you. We're going to sit around and wait for another 3 years.
Yeah, that is true.
So I'm simply saying is, you have the opportunity today, not to moan and begroan what could have been done. I'm simply saying is, we have now discovered we are reaching the inflection point, and we must fix this before it gets to the point of no return. And we can today, if we demand it and begin to hold, not government, just government, hold your MP accountable individually.
Okay, you made your point. Finish, JT, because we got to take a break. Go ahead.
See, while I do not dispute the last 2 points that CLN made, because they are sensible points, I am sick and tired of being told I shouldn't feel the way I feel. You are disowning people. You are not regarding the Bahamians who feel the way we feel on this issue.
I said to act in spite of what you feel.
Act these feelings, and what you've done, that then you try to work with them to find the proper solutions. What I'd like to ask a question to Crystal is this.
JT.
From your point of view, living in Abaco.
No, not JT. Solutions are JT. I've heard JT. With all due respect,
it has been overrun. What would you say right now is the ratio of Bahamians to non-Bahamians in Abaco? 2 to 1, 10 to 1?
20 to 1. 20 to 1. That is how horrible it is here in Abaco. And to answer the pastor on something that he would have stated earlier, that I have a hate and I have a dislike for Haitian people. I've helped so many Haitian people in my walk till it isn't funny. And I'm glad that here on my island, people are able to see beyond that or see past that. I love my island. I love my country. And I will continue to fight. I will continue to be a voice for Abaco. The farm sits at a particular place where there is a natural blue hole and there's no regulations. You just, I guess, open the ground and you create sewage, which is now going to later contaminate my water. But that's another conversation for another day. Miss Michelle, thank you for having me on your show. But I promised you an hour and I have to run now. So it was a pleasure being with you guys today. Thank you for having me.
Crystal, can I say something before you go?
Go ahead, sir.
No, I'm saying I've been watching you and following you. I appreciate what you've been doing. I wish there was more people that was amongst you that realize that there is a problem and that we ourselves becoming involved is the solution. I admire the fact that you don't go on what I think, what I feel, and what I believe, or what I've been told. You're working on the actual experience. And
yes,
so
sir.
A lot of people are going on how I feel, how I think, and whatever. We have a problem. We need to fix it, and the fixed working system could accommodate any of them that wants us to it. And so just keep going on what you know, as opposed to what you think, feel, and believe.
Mr. C. Allen, here in Abaco, it isn't that many persons don't want to speak out. Many persons don't speak out for the fact of they're going to be victimized. Either they have a government job that they don't want to compromise, or they have a business that in some which way, form, or fashion, they have. If I do this set of people won't support me. Fortunately, I don't have that issue. Like I tell people, if I decided to stop working tomorrow, I'm not going to go hungry. But people here in Abaco, it's beyond the boiling point now. And for far too long, like persons state they're always stating that we should be so compassionate, or they always like to quote the Bible, but what they miss out in the Bible is the Bible said that let every man follow the laws of the land. So if you call yourself a Christian and you're so godly, then you teach your people that this is the proper way to enter the country legally, and you won't have any issues from the Bahamian people. But instead, they want to break the laws, and then when persons speak out against it, those persons they just hate Haitians. No, darling. But thank you guys for having me today. It was a pleasure being with you all, but I have to run. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you, Crystal. You wanted to say something, Pastor?
Okay, Crystal's gone. I can get JJ case right now. Yes, the Bible say you have to respect the law and the land. And you have to respect all them officers, all them MPs, all them from the government house. And the same way too, they have to respect me in the same way. When I go on to say the JJ, no one's Bahamian this country, no one's Haitian this country. All's black man's a Negro. And from before independence 1973, after going to the Korean, I think pending Mother Butler gone there, fight independent for this country and open this country via the Bahamians for this country. All blacks, the Negro. It is called a Negro. But I go on to say, at the same time, I respect each the Bahamian, not because I born in the Bahamas. I respect everyone in the Bahamas. I respect everyone, nation. I don't matter for me. Each nation I respect there. Because I get the Bible in my hand, I have to speak the truth. Now, when I go on to say, even the government right now, if they say they want to put the chip in his hand right now, or he phone here, they say no, they have to park him in the boat. Just like immigration, deport the Haitian, they can do the same thing. The white man can do the same thing. Mark every black and the boat go back home to Africa. Don't matter if it's Haitian, it's a Jamaican. The problem is you have to get God your life. You have to put the Christ your life Paul, and you have to put Christ and not Jesus Christ the Savior. That's the only way to be Abraham child. Every black nation, a white nation, all them God child. Now, at the same time, I respect the country. I have to go on and rule the country. At the same time, I can't help my brothers and sisters, maybe my neighbor. When you need, your neighbors come around for you. When I need, I come ask you. When I need the bread, I come to Bahamas, ask the Bahamas bread. When the Bahamas need Haiti.
The challenge though, Pastor, is these people ain't asking for nothing. They come into the country and they are demanding as if they have.
You don't pick up what I say. No,
I do. I'm a born again believer. I come to you right now. I'm a born again believer. I'm a Christian. I'm a follower of Christ. Okay?
You can read all of the Bible, man.
But in the Bible, there were boundaries. The children of Israel were given boundaries.
What God do?
It had nothing to do with your color.
Pastor, with all due respect,
but
loving your neighbor as yourself does not mean that you are supposed to just throw open the boundaries.
No, I don't say it like that. I just said I respect the law.
But
the
point, Michelle, he made some points.
Let's go to caller first.
He made some points.
We have a caller waiting. Let's go to the caller first. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Yeah, welcome back. Yeah, it's me again. I listened to this intensely, and I see exactly what the problem is, and as well as I can identify what Haiti problem was from the onset. In 1804, what they told the world was any black person, what he's saying, could get to Haiti, you're a free person, right? And that was the genesis of their problem, as well as they take an oath not to go back to the field in Haiti after that independence. But if they don't see that's a mistake that they made, opening, throwing their borders open like they did. Now all of them running from out there. It seems like that they want to do the same thing to the Bahamas. But you know what the biggest problem is? Nobody has noticed this big elephant in the room when it comes to Haiti. We've done, like you say, Lady Malcolm, we've done 50 years, and there's 60 years that I'm trying to help Haiti. Everybody, me too, trying to help Haiti. but nobody realized what those people need in Haiti. It may take 5 to 10 years. It's education. Because listening to your pastor, you're on one side of the fence and you're way on the other side with what you're trying to say. He ain't understanding the law is the law.
I don't think
Those people in Haiti need education.
I don't think it's lack of understanding. I think Pastor Emmanuel understands quite well that the law is the law.
Thank you.
I just think that Pastor Emmanuel is looking at the situation, as I suppose you could accuse everybody of doing so, through shaded glasses. He obviously has a love for the people of Haiti. He is obviously affiliated with the people of Haiti, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Of course, that's 219 years plus. We don't need nothing. You understand? They are particularly bonded people. Wherever they go, they bond. Understand? But there's a problem. They need to be educated. I don't know if Seattle will agree with me because nobody has never offered them education. Thanks for taking my call.
Michelle, I believe, see, what happens is educated people normally don't demand empowerment. However, empowered people demand education. Haiti is not a pure place. They have iridium there that sells for $388 million per ton, and a ton a week or more is taken out of there. They have Navaso that's controlled by the United States from the early 1800s that produces Ghana. They have one of the highest deposits of oil in the region in the world. They're one of the highest deposits of gold in the world, right? But right across from them, with the minister, the pastor said in there, almost as if though he believed that because we are supposed to be all the same color, right? But if he actually checked the environment, there's a border right between Haiti and Hispaniola that separates the two. So my question is, then why don't you just simply walk across the border, as opposed to going north and other places? Earlier he said about, in the beginning of this show, that they don't want to come to the Bahamas, or they sending back and all these different things, all convoluted. Either the pastor has respect for law, because the Bible itself is also law, the laws of God, or he don't. And there's boundaries and there's laws for which when you enter even into another man's house, there's certain rules that you abide by in certain countries. So the problem is that we must become a place of law and order. That is the first step. But what we have to have is proper statement of the law and the proper tools for executing the law. And this is where we have leadership that has the same appeasement of others, some with amongst us, all that benefits. Understand this. We must understand that illegal immigration in the country is a multi-billion-dollar business. Let's take the 60,000 individuals that's supposed to be working in the construction industry. Let's underpay them by $200 a week, and you have saved $1.2 billion in wages. Understand? That's a huge savings. See, so when we begin to understand why people begin to make an argument for certain position in the shadow, we have to begin to question, where are they benefiting in regards to this? The problem is that they're benefiting, but the country as a whole is not. This is not a place where a select few should benefit. And I'm simply saying, it's going back to the part of the show, and I hope we could get to it, as to what government will do. Because if government will do what Bahamians allow and permit it to do, or make a demand of it to do, beyond the conversation that they give us about intent. Like you say, I intend to win the lottery this week, so next month I'll buy a ticket. That's what government is telling us.
Okay, see, Alan, we have a call on the line. I just want to read, before we go to the caller, real quick, a comment by Charles LaRoda. Charles says, using the pastor's argument then, the Haitians should be headed back to Africa. Boy, we have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Miss Malcolm.
Yes, sir.
A pleasant good afternoon. And God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit, one God.
Right.
Miss Malcolm, to contribute a little bit to this conversation about migrants, I have a question for the pastor. If he is a pastor, he don't sound like one.
That's not true.
But I have a question for him. If I, who is bona fide Bahamian, get thought about migrate into Haiti, what will be the treatment you will give me for migrating to Haiti? Answer that, please.
Go ahead, Pastor.
Okay. I
Legal or illegal migration?
Let him answer, C. Allen. Go ahead, Pastor.
I remember one time ago, a Bahamians to come to Haiti, St. Domingo in Haiti, and charge Dominican Republic for 26 years. The Bahamas, before they get independent, Haitians them bring mango, plantain, banana, bring teachers and stuff like that, and treat them well. Not because in Haiti come like that, they treat them like animal, 4 legs, and I can't speak with them. Not because I from the Haitian parents. I have to tell the truth for a leader. Okay? If you come to Haiti right now, you see the dumbest in the Haiti guy right now for foreigners, you come there, they respect you. You say, I said they love you. Haitian, them love foreigners in Haiti. Listen, please, sir. Listen, please. Listen, you just listen.
Caller, let him finish his point, please. Caller, let him finish his point. Go ahead.
Any government in the Bahamas from pending time, they can tell you when they go on Haiti, what respect they get in Haiti. You see what I'm saying? Now, I understand they ain't got no government right now, and they got plenty issues they going through right now. I understand that. You see what I'm saying? I know you're doing good for Haitian. I know you love Haitian, you allow them the country, we can survive this country. I understand that. You see what I'm saying? At the same time, no one's Bahamian, no one's a Haitian. All us the black man. I had to say, if I want to say, I had to say all the black and the Bahamas are Haitian. From Canada and from Andres.
Dominican Republic is considered black by the standards of black.
Hold on, Sienna. Let her caller finish. Caller.
Can I ask you a question, Pastor?
We're listening. Go ahead.
Do you love Bahamians?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How much do you love Bahamians?
I love Bahamian just like I love my job.
So why aren't you take this opportunity to advise your Haitian own people that they swarm in the Bahamas too much and the Bahamas just cannot take anymore, and work with my government to try and rid some of your people, because y'all are millions. We just have 400,000.
Well, you know,
what's the difficulty for you to understand?
Excuse me, sorry, Mr. Charles. That's me, Charles. Excuse me, sir. Hold on. What's your last name is? The question I asked you.
Hello?
What your last name is?
What my last name is?
Yes, sir.
What does that to do with this conversation?
Oh, Jesus. I want clear something clear.
He wants to make an argument that that all these names were given to us.
Okay. Bottom line is what the pastor is suggesting is that all of us are African.
So it's the Dominican Republic. So it's Cubans.
Differentiation between Haitian and
Not
Bahamian.
be crossed out for disobeying the law as being rebellion against the law. That's the crop out. All of from Africa got nothing to do with illegal Haitian coming out of Haiti and the Bahamas.
Okay.
Different from Africa and Haiti. And Jamaica is different from the Bahamas. We talking about Bahamas responsible for the Bahamas.
All right.
And those who live among us, those foreign persons, we love you all. You demonstrate that we love you all now.
Okay, thank you.
What else we gonna do? You get free ride and free ride back home on Bahamas Airline, and you to be your government to take. I think the strain is all our place in the Bahamas.
I is Bahamian, I is Bahamian by 1981. I have applied citizenship in 2000, September 21st. I is Bahamian just like you. I might from the Haitian parents. At the same time, I love Bahamians, I love Haitian, I love Jamaican, I love American. And I can tell you one thing, American wasn't Haiti like that.
Okay.
Michelle, can I ask you?
All right, caller. Thank you, caller. See, let me let you jump in, and then
Let me ask the Haitian pastor. In Africa, do they have delineation borders within Africa that differentiate one group of people?
Absolutely.
So this whole concept of we all Africans, right, is pure. The argument is garbage at best. Dominican Republicans, because don't confuse their skin color with their what they would be considered. They can be considered black by all virtue of whatever it is. If you go to Cuba, don't confuse the skin color. 80% of them is not of the light hue. Okay, so I'm simply saying this: Dominican Republic is there. Puerto Ricans are considered black by all virtue, and all of these so-called disbursement, the mixture of the blood still doesn't make them white. So if you want to make that argument, but we all one and there's no borders, walk across to the Dominican Republic. Cuba is right there. You want to go to the United States? Puerto Rico is right there. Puerto Rico is being the same as being in the United States. This garbage argument, but we all the same from Africa, because we don't allow them to put this thing in context. Africa got multiple countries that they will not mix and cross each other border because of the consequences of doing so. Let's stop talking foolishness. We are talking about an illegal movement of people across anyone's border. And that's why Dominican Republic have rules for it. Cuba has rules for it. The United States has rules for it. Puerto Rico has rules for it. I'm simply saying this. Our closest neighbor, which we share the same spitting distance from, is TCI. They have rules for it. So I'm simply saying is this.
Every country has rules. But
right.
Here's the bottom line.
The bottom line is this. We have a legal immigration problem, not to be confused with a legal immigration or a legal migration problem. Now here's the problem. We have issues.
Make it quick, Seattle. We have a caller waiting on the line.
We have issues with both. And we need to address the legal migration or immigration problem for those with the work permits. Let's fix that problem. But the government said it was going to fix the multiple of these. And I'm saying we need to isolate each one and have government come to us with a solution. Don't tell me you're consulting with Haitian pastors or Bahamian pastors or whoever it is, the United States, whatever. We, the Bahamian people, want to have a conversation with you as to what the problem is and the application of the solution.
Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Yeah, hi, Michelle. I'm listening to your show. It's very interesting today. And Pastor Emmanuel made a comment that he was born in the Bahamas in 1981. I'm listening to his accent, very distinct, very Haitian national. Pastor, I just want to know, did you actually was born in the Bahamas or you grew up in Haiti? Which is it? And furthermore, did you at any point denounce your national citizenship?
No, he is saying that he was born in the Bahamas, but he did spend some time as a child in Haiti before he came back to the Bahamas. And he has citizenship here in the Bahamas.
You have citizenship?
Yes.
Now, we just wanted to clarify that because, we're listening and there's some things that are being said with regard to, even at CARICOM, a lot of the Hindus are angry. We must be careful how we approach this. Even at CARICOM, the only thing that the Haitian government did or said was that he apologized for what the pressure that Haitians are placing on the Bahamian people, not the Bahamas, the Haitian people. And, there's a lot being said, there are a lot of opinions being, expressed. But the bottom line is that, we're questioning, after he's a pastor, he said we're all Africans. Yes, we're of African descent, but we're the Hindus and we live in the Bahamas. Everybody has their own country. At one point, we all spoke the same language until God separated us. And I identify myself as a Hindu.
Okay.
Not an African or Haitian.
I want to play a clip. Thank you so much for calling. I want to play a clip. This is a clip of someone in Africa where they are experiencing similar challenges as it relates to immigration, migration, etc. Now, this is a man from Ghana, Africa, talking about what he believes the solution should be to the problem that they're experiencing in Ghana, Africa. And I need you to listen to this, Pastor, because this whole argument of, oh, we all come from Africa, tell me what you think about this. Listen to this.
The issue of identity, unique identity, is a very serious thing. I want to protect Ghana for Ghanaians. So I'm going to have 3 different kinds of identity in Ghana, 3 different passports. The first passport belongs to a full Ghanaian. Mother, father, parents, Ghanaian. You are entitled to have the first kind of passport. And that passport is the only passport and the only kind of identity that can contest for presidency in this country. Secondly, can contest for parliamentary election and can acquire any kind of properties in this country. So if you don't hold the first identity, you cannot buy properties in this country. You can only buy properties through And if you are holding a second identity, which is half Ghanaian and half foreign, you can only buy property through the first citizen and use his name to acquire property. If you are holding the third one, which is naturalized to be a Ghanaian, you cannot even buy any property at all. You see, look around this country. We are fast losing every property of ours to the foreigners. And we are going to become 21st century slaves, including our children, in the next years to come. Because the Nigerians, the foreigners, the Lebanese, they bought all the prime lands and everything in this country. And you get to a point that a Ghanaian cannot own property because we don't have money. We don't have the resources. Our politicians are selling everything to the foreigners for peanuts. Our Chinese have bought all our lands in this country. Lebanese are buying all the prime lands. Go to Trasako there, and then you enter and see the number of Ghanaians, there are very few. And this is our country. Where do we live? Slums. That's where we live. What is our property? Do we want to become 21st century slaves because we are poor? Because we cannot afford? Yes, you come to my land. This is my land. Lease my land. If you are leasing it, you lease with my name. The day you want to go, you go back the way you came. If you make your money and go. But you cannot own my property. It's simple. Everybody has policy. That's my policy. That's what I want to protect my nation with.
For the record, that man is from Ghana, Africa. This argument about, oh, we all won and we all come on the same boat, and with all due respect, Pastor, I think this is a major part of the problem that people have when we have this discussion about illegal immigration, because the attitude seems to be, we have a right to this land just as much as you. Whether we come here legally or illegally, we have a right to this land just as much as you, because our ancestors all came on the same boat. So by virtue of the color of our skin and our shared history, we got a right to this land as much as you. And there's this attitude of like not understanding that being here is a privilege for those who are not Bahamian, not a right. And excuse me if I get, a little passionate in my discussion here today. But it's this attitude that seems to be prevailing that you can't tell me I can't come into my house and do what I want to because I have a right to be here just as much as you, because my skin black like yours and our ancestors all come on the same boat. This is a major part of the problem that Bahamians have with this attitude of entitlement. And I need you, Pastor, to understand that. And I don't want you to believe that we try to beat up on you or anything. I really felt it was extremely important to have the Haitian viewpoint as a part of this discussion. And this is why I contacted you. I contacted others today who did not want to come. But I think it's important to hear your voice, because we cannot have a solution to this problem without the input of the Haitian diaspora. We all have to be a part of this solution. But when you're going to start off with this attitude of entitlement, this is what incenses a lot of people to the plight of the Haitian people. We have a call on the line. Call over with GPS. You gotta turn on your radio, whatever you're listening on, please. What time do they close? Carl, are you there? Okay, they left. Okay. Give us, I guess the pastor saying he has to leave because he has another appointment. Give us, before you go, your final thoughts on this, because I guess the conversation will have to continue without you being here. So go ahead and give us your final thoughts, please. Whatever you feel like.
Michelle, in his final thoughts, when he asked, but the caller was getting to concerning legal and illegal movement into Haiti, but he talked about the fruits and the vegetables, whatever. And I would ask him in his final thoughts to answer the question: what are the rules for improper entry into Haiti and setting up life, business, whatever, and that of legal entry? They should never be confused with the two. because Haiti itself has rules for illegal movement into Haiti, period, concerning property ownership, concerning everything else that they do.
All right. Give me 1 second, Pastor, before you go. Call and make it quick, because the pastor has to leave.
Okay, good afternoon. I didn't listen to the show, right? Obviously, this is the mindset of the Asian people. So now we as a country, we need to look at ourselves. The question is, what do we do now as a country when the Haitian people have this mindset? Because I'm sure he's not talking about you.
No.
What do we as a country to move forward to protect ourselves?
All right, thanks for calling. Pastor, give us your final thoughts on this whole thing before you leave us, please.
Okay, but I encourage my people, I want they to better and live this country. From day one, them sent to born the Bahamas, they could stay in the Bahamas because they ain't get no right in Haiti. I know that for facts. I grew up in Haiti 10 years, and I ain't got no right in Haiti because I born in the Bahamas. And that's the problem. My old lady's American in the States, get a US passport, live New York. And I just get mad at my old lady. I used to ask her why she kept me in Haiti because I ain't got no say in Haiti. You see, I said, I live in the Bahamas, I still ain't got no say in the Bahamas. And I get confused there. I one day leave, setting in straight in the country, we ain't get no papers and stuff. And if they catch in the boat, they can deport them back where they come from. And they need touch in the embassy and all the pops to come together and try go on Haiti, open business and open whatever you're making from the Bahamas or whatever they're making from the States, all them Haitian who live in a different country, America, Canada, and go open school, open the job for the Haitian survive. And that's why I asked God to, and that's why I asked if a brave Davis can give him a chance and sign agreement, whatever government come, just like Trinidad do other day, and Barbados and Jamaica. And you all can get agreements and sign agreements, you all can bring stuff, yams, planting, you have to get papers and stuff and bring them stuff, do farmings and fruits and stuff.
Trade.
And like trade.
Yeah.
Just that's what they do back then in Haiti and Jamaica.
Right.
You see, I said, if they want to start it back, you'll get to the process. Everybody stay there online.
Right.
You understand?
But do you acknowledge, Pastor, that Haitians in Haiti and those around the diaspora have to take some responsibility for fixing Haiti?
I know plenty can do it because it's just like the ladies just said the correction. They said that's a correction things. You understand? That's the correction because in Haiti suffering right now. And American one taking Haiti because in Haiti got all kind of gold, all kind like no Haiti got gold, Haiti got money, Haiti no poor. There's government, America, French, and Canada, they just pay the oil and bring Haiti down.
Right.
Haiti got money, Haiti got gold. And just they bring Haiti like poor. They want soft in Haiti. You say, that's the problem. True. I get 2 daughters before I married, come the Christian, come the pastor. I get the baby woman named Sharon Roberts from Andres, not Andres. You understand? And I love my children. And I love all the Bahamians. I get my 5th child at the Bahamian from Lucha. She's a brand. You understand? I have to love Bahamians. I can't against no Bahamians. If I against Bahamian, I against myself. And I against my children. And I against myself where I born. You understand? I said, I have to respect God. Now, what I said, yours brothers and sisters, you all get fixed in a different way. You all get signed a contract. You see, I said, for second die. You see me? And if you feel me, and if your government break, they will say yes, you like this contract, they can wait for 3 years in the Bahamas, they can leave the Bahamas, they can leave the Bahamas.
Right.
That's the contract, you have to trade.
Yeah, Bahamians back in the day had a contract in Florida.
Yeah.
So we get it.
And from y'all do that and get together, and the Haitian have to stay home.
I understand.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay, Pastor, I appreciate you coming here. I really, really appreciate you coming here because I did reach out to others who decided that they did not want to be a part of the conversation. And so I want to say thank you so much for agreeing to be a part of the show today. And I hope that you didn't feel like we were.
No, I don't feel no way because that's where my parents come from. That's my roots. As I said, some of them, when they come to power, they go on MP office or evaluation, or they come to government job and stuff, and they get the roots. I ain't be like that. As I said, I have to speak the rights. And I love you all. Be safe in the name of Jesus' blood, covered by the blood of Jesus Christ.
All right. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Thank you very much for being here today. Okay, I know we have a call on the line. Caller, let's take you, and then we're gonna go to a break. Welcome to GPS.
Excellent show, exciting, learned a lot, but we need to hold the political context, the proposed accountable, where they're gonna go and tell these people, I am you and you are me. And they don't understand that these are just political ploys to get you to vote. So we need to play the clip, the recent clip, the PLD leader and then entice these people to vote and giving them wrong information. So you see, we doing it to ourselves, Michelle. And this is what we got to correct. We need Brad Davis to explain to these Asian people, you need to go with me legally and come. Let me take you if I have to. Maybe he should go with them. Let's take a break.
Ah, boy. Thank you for calling. We got to take a break, y'all. How many breaks we take so far? Only one? You serious? Oh, my Lord. Okay. We got to take a break, y'all. Let's take this break because, you know, my sponsor's keeping the show, and they are. I got to make sure that breaks. We only have one break? Oh, my God. Okay. We're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back with more. Stay with us.
Your body's immune system is under constant pressure from things like stress, lack of exercise, and toxins in the environment. It's crucial to be proactive and support your immune system with the nutrients it needs to function effectively. But it's often hard to get these nutrients from food alone. Introducing fast-acting Zinc Plus Immune Support by Longevity. Unlike zinc-only supplements, Zinc Plus Immune Support builds on the proven power of zinc and adds complementary nutrients to give your immune system extra support. Vitamin D helps balance the effects of zinc, while our proprietary blend of natural fruit and root extracts provides the extra help your immune system needs to work against daily stressors. And we've included Longevity's exclusive plant-derived minerals to give your body the minerals it needs, but can't get from food alone. And because Zinc Plus Immune Support is delivered in a great-tasting, sugar-free, berry-flavored lozenge, it encourages quicker absorption of all these nutrients into your body. Zinc Plus Immune Support. Zinc plus the extra support your body needs to promote a healthy immune system. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires. Cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Glasses love.
It's gotten harder and harder to get your daily requirement of vital nutrients from food alone. Without additional vitamin and nutrient support, your health and well-being can suffer drastically. That's why Z-Radical was specifically formulated. It combines a blend of antioxidant-rich vitamins, minerals, and botanicals with the protective powers of fucoidan to help fill the gaps from lack of nutrients in your foods. The core of Z-Radical is fucoidan, a naturally occurring polysaccharide that helps stimulate immune reaction, protecting you against inflammation and oxidative stress. We harvest this powerful mineral-rich nutrient from brown seaweed, harvested only from the world's most pristine ocean waters to ensure the purest quality. It's then extracted using cold process technology to ensure maximum levels of bioavailability. Then we add essential vitamins that help to protect your cardiovascular and nervous systems and are crucial for optimal immune and neurological function. Z-Radical also includes a proprietary blend of delicious antioxidant-rich fruits and berries. This great-tasting combination helps your body combat free radical imbalances that can contribute to a variety of degenerative conditions like arthritis and heart disease. Z-Radical. Experience the power of fucoidan with antioxidant-rich berries, 8 essential vitamins, and more to provide you with potent health benefits. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS. Hi, good. How are you?
I'm great. Listening to the show for a while. It's very intriguing. Everything is started at the government level. Whereas you look at our constitution, everything is in our constitution. Constitution Constitution, you can't break a Constitution because if you go by the Constitution, there's laws that govern countries. And so we need to comply. So now, if the government allows these things, that someone said that it's a business, whereas whoever he needs or whoever, and as the pastor said, yes, we all are one. We know that's something that's a normal thing. We know all the Caribbean islands, we all know, even though we have geographic cuts and all those different things. But I don't agree with him is when you use the Bible has nothing to do with this migration. Even though it is documented in the Bible that they migrated, but when it comes down to dealing with our country, our behavior, people have to be first and foremost in everything we do. This is what Philip said. If we don't take our country, we take care of us. The government have to do their job, and the people of the Bahamas have to hold them accountable. That we don't work for those MP or Friday, they work for us. We employ them. That's why we have elections. If we tell them what we want and how we want it, they have to follow instructions or we fire them. But because we are so political, everybody is so stuck on a party, so party-centric, they say, oh, this might crime, so this might this, and this might this. They're not looking further ahead, they're only looking past their nose. So when the younger generation comes, the younger generation contend with all of this mess what's happening now, what could be dealt with in a long time ago. As they talk about the geographical of all the different countries and all these different other stuff, the Bahamas have their laws and bylaws and they stick into that. Mm-hmm. If we as people don't make these government officials accountable and make them repay their paycheck, they don't pay us, we pay them. Their job is to put infrastructure, their job, protect the country. So they're not protecting the country, that put somebody to protect it. That's cut and dry, that's bottom line. You can't go around that, you can't go over that, you can't go under that, cut and dry. When you try to make it look pretty, when you try to paint a color on it, their job is to protect the country. The border, their job is to protect. If they're not doing that, you have to replace them. That's why that's in our Constitution.
That's the problem. We keep replacing them with the same people.
You see what I'm saying? So when you become party-centric, then there goes these same people coming back into politics. And their insight, without foresight, there's a problem. It's a problem. And if we don't deal with what we have before us first, if they're not holding up, they're not looking at for our country, that they're going to put people there who's willing to fight for our country. So good.
Well, caller,
I'll stop with that because I get out of it with that and I stop with that.
All right, go ahead, Sam. You wanted to say something.
Well, caller, the problem is not government, You don't sell. I know we use the argument that we send government to Parliament. We send individuals to Parliament. We begin to hold them accountable right now, individually. On Monday in the House of Assembly, a special committee was called in there to basically bring to light the defects that we may have within the immigration system. As a select committee was called for by the leader of the majority opposition, Mr. Michael Pintard. It was overwhelmingly 100% of those present rejected that call for a select committee and saying that they're taking action. The select committee was not about taking action because it doesn't pause the government. Those individuals within the House of Parliament was not running the immigration, not running anything. And so there was nothing that would stop the government from putting in place its policies, its procedures, and legislation, whatever. However, that select committee may have given us an opportunity to lay bare the defects that we have in our system. One was now questioned, why would the government be afraid to bring to the people an exposure, freedom of internet, an exposure, transparency for information that belongs to the people? We should know. And so now we come back to what the topic of this show is. What is government going to do? And so we have now is we have government we have allowed government to convolute this conversation. We must ask government for clarity. What is your strategy to deal with illegals in the country? That's number one. Second, what is the strategy for those in the country that we deem legal, but is out of the context for which they were allowed to enter the country? Then we begin to look at a housing issue. And so, again, believe it or not, when individuals applying for work permits, when you apply for a work permit, you must factor in the cost of housing, the cost of insurance, the cost of educating those accompanying it, and the cost of medical, as opposed to simply saying that you're trying to find somebody for less. See, if we begin to follow these rules, and so when I go to say I want a person from Jamaica, the Dominican Republic, Cuba, Haiti, or whatever, I should factor in this is what it's going to cost. Right. This is what it's going to cost me for housing. This is what it's going to cost me for transportation. This is what it's going to cost me for medical. This is what it's going to cost me for education. And then say, hold on a second. Is it less expensive for me to hire a Bahamian than it is to pay this for a work permit?
Well, because we are being allowed to break multiple laws, that conversation never gets that far. And that is a major reason why we are where we are, because they have been able thus far to break the law of hiring these people illegally, to break the law, or even if they bring them in, like you said, with a work permit, they break the law by not being able to ensure that these people have a place to live. So because we have ignored our laws for so long on so many layers, all of this is contributing to the problem that we're facing today.
We can fix it though, but that's the beauty about it. Let's take the housing issue. And Michelle, we must not allow government to use the shantytown. The shantytown issue, or what we call shantytown, irregular housing, illegal housing, has nothing to do with illegal migration, immigration, except that's where they may live. Because are we saying that if you're illegal and you're in the shantytown, you have to go? But if you live in the inner city or someplace else, you don't?
Yeah, you can stay.
No. We have an illegal problem of individuals. That's the problem. What are we going to do now when we begin to have a talk about the shanty towns? Because that's a simple place to solve, technology solves that. Then we begin to have a thing. We have the argument, right? The Prime Minister already said on national, international stage, we can't break down the shanty towns because we have no place to put the people. But on Sunday, he said Friday evening, internationally. But on Sunday, he comes to us and says, we're going to break them down. First of all, you have QCs or KCs now, and some of the great legal minds, you pay millions of dollars. And you're telling me in 5 years that they did not know every addition to that shanty town, if you want to call it that, was in violation of the court order? They knew. That only protected, you notice that court order didn't say current buildings and future buildings. It protected those that was in existence at that particular time. And so we could have stopped it, and you can't tell me, because remember now, we went from 5 to 10 acres to hundreds of acres and the way that is. But when we begin to talk about housing, we must do something about these irregular housing or shantytown housing. But do not let the government get away with saying that we must have it remain because they have no strategy for social housing or affordable housing. Okay? Because we can look at those housing, give temporary reprieve, not the illegality of those people that's there, but we must have the government must tell us a strategy, because if we just simply say we can't break them down, 20 years from now, 40 years from now, we'll say we're still waiting. What is the solution for this problem in this housing regime that we have that can allow these people to transition out of this environment? Because we can't let them maintain. We have environmental degradation. We all in the carbon community. It's impacting the carbon. It's impacting the water. It's impacting the seagrass. Impacting the mangroves. And impacting the blue holes. So we cannot allow, for the sake of not allowing government to bring us a solution for housing, to simply say we're going to give them reprieve for 20 years. How long it takes to build housing? You understand? So this is why we must not allow government to have this broad conversation. We need to know what each aspect of the problems we are facing and have government bring a solution to all of them that may be interconnected, but not the same. And so, what the Prime Minister did was give us a form of linguistic contortionism, and we have no form of a concrete plan. I would challenge any of the fanatics.
But you know what, see, Alan, because I got to take a break. You know, maybe the argument why they haven't really presented the plan per se is that when you go into war, you don't show your hand to your enemy as to what you plan to do. That's kind of.
That's your question.
So maybe that's why.
No, take the break. Let me ask you a question. If we say we're gonna have a digital, okay, take the break. Let me tell you where that is. Take the break. Let's go to break.
Yeah, let's go to our final break. You gotta pick up bills here. Let's go to our final break.
Blood sugar levels play a key role in your appetite, weight gain, and overall health. When you have a blood sugar spike, you can feel confused, dizzy, and even have increased cravings. Eating carbohydrates, sugary or fatty foods, and not exercising can all cause blood sugar spikes. But now you have help in managing blood sugar levels. Sweeties by Youngevity was designed to help support healthy blood sugar levels so you can power through your day. It's a synergistic blend of minerals, herbs, and nutrients that have been proven to support healthy blood sugar levels. Sweeties includes chromium, an essential trace mineral that's known for its contribution to healthy blood sugar levels and improved metabolism of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. Cinnamon bark has been included for its naturally occurring antioxidants and support of a healthy heart. And we've even added gymnema. It's been used in Ayurveda for centuries to help promote healthy blood sugar. All the ingredients in Sweeties work together to give the best support available for blood sugar control. Sweeties, the blood sugar support supplement from Youngevity that helps control cravings and manage blood sugar levels through your day. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blasted loud.
As you age, factors like health, weight, diet, and lifestyle can all impact your bones, joints, and general mobility. Even everyday exercise can lead to wear and tear on your body. Over time, you might start to experience stiffness or pain due to damaged joints or connective tissue. Ultimate Glucogel by Youngevity was created to help you limit the effects of wear on your joints. It delivers a daily dose of collagen-rich gelatin your body needs for joint elasticity and maintenance. Ultimate Glucogel contains a 1-to-1 ratio of gelatin and glucosamine sulfate, which is a key building block of your bone matrix, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, and connective tissue. Gelatin's unique blend of amino acids not only help with muscle and joint health, but also has been shown to provide additional benefits for the brain, skin, and hair. Ultimate Glucogel. Natural, optimal daily support for joint health. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Was that break 3 or break 4 you played? That was the 4th one? So we played 4 breaks today? We got to get break 3 in there, though. Okay, let's take one more quick break, y'all. We have to take break 3.
At Lear. At Lear, safety is our #1 priority. Flying since 1996, we offer scheduled flights into Fresh Creek and Mangrove Key Andros and Great Harbor Key, Berry Island, twice daily, 7 days a week. Affordable charter services are also available to anywhere in the Bahamas and the Caribbean. Lee Air Charter Services. Call 225-3267, 702-7127, or 322-1317 for reservations.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 hyperimmune egg powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
For all your building needs, it's Carib Construction and Project Management on Gladstone Road. We build it all: schools, homes, hotels, and more, including structures requiring a Phase 3 electrical contractor. We also provide project management services. The first step towards your dream building begins at Carib Construction and Project Management. Call us at 376-1556 or 341-4466.
One of the things I love about the mailboat is their relationship with Bahamas Air. I can earn travel points on my international freight and redeem them when I fly.
For me, online shopping is easy with Mailboat's U.S. addresses and regular freight delivery to Nassau. Plus, I can always prepay customs and freight, and they always notify me when my package arrives.
Yeah, a lot of people think the Mailboat is just for shipping, but they also offer a safe and secure storage facility at affordable rates, all in a central, convenient location.
We also offer passenger service into Freeport multiple times per week with a seating capacity of over 450 persons. With family movies on large screens, one hot meal included, and on-board lounge for snacks and soft drinks. We're the Mailboat. We're bridging people, products, and places.
Executive Printers is your one-stop shop for all your branding and customization needs. Letterheads, envelopes, business cards, invoices, share and gift certificates, rubber stamps, vouchers, funeral programs, brochures, flyers, banners, and promotional items like mugs, water bottles, mouse pads, and key rings, all with personable service and great quality. No project is too small or too large. For great turnaround and competitive pricing, make an executive decision. Call us at 393-5011.
All right, we're back. Seattle's 401. So make your final thoughts, okay?
What I say is this: please, Bahamians, don't allow government to convolute and conflate ideas. We have an illegal migration and immigration problem, but even greater or equal to it, we have a housing problem. Using the definition of the United Nations, all of our inner cities are slums or ghettos or shanty towns. And that is also a major problem that can be dealt with simultaneously. Let them answer the problem of illegal migration and what's going to be done step by step, not no generalities, and then let them have a greater answer. What are they going to do to enhance social and affordable housing for all Bahamians? And for, as a secondary, that foreigners may have a benefit from. But we must begin to hold government accountable by MPs and then by the government itself. Just let's do it.
All right. Thank you, Alan. I want to end the show with this comment from one of our Facebook viewers. I used to be angry with the illegals too. I even used to march on Bay Street. But when I sat down and thought of all the underhand works going on in this country by Bahamians, I stopped wasting my time. Until Bahamians themselves look in the mirror and stop breaking the laws of our land, things will start to work in our favor. I can name 100 laws broken by our people. Now that right there is a mouthful to end on. I want to thank C. Alan Johnson, Crystal Williams, who had to leave early, Kai Mills, who got knocked off, was only on for a couple of minutes, and of course, Pastor Emmanuel, who joined us here in the studio. Thank you to all of you who called, sent in a text, simply listened. I'm Michelle Malcolm. Tomorrow is 242 Day. Let's dress up in our independence colors and let's show our Bahamian pride on our TGIF Open Line show. Until then, thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, God willing.
9.5 FM reminds our listeners that the views and opinions expressed on this show